Who is tired and wants to go home because how exhausting school is? But what if I were to tell you that you should be able to take mental health days? Your well-being is more important, way more important than turning in an assignment for a grade. Your well-being should be your priority. Take time to think of times in school you felt emotionally and physically tired from school that you cannot focus or be productive. To understand feeling that you can no longer do work in school or you just feel emotionally tired, I will discuss the mental health issues, specific factors contributing to the mental health problems, and potential solutions into students struggling with mental health because of school. Students have had a difficult time staying in school for the full day and think school is becoming more of a problem on their well-being. Research on the article Many Schools Are Offering Mental Health Days, written by Ariana, published on February 8, 2023. She points out there is not a ton of research on taking days off from school, because this idea is fairly new. Going to the article more, it only talks in before and after the pandemic and how it affects, but not necessarily of why students are considering not being in school. Readings on the article in their own words, written by Jamie, published on October 23, 2023. The article takes specific students and interviews them and what their mind is on school. One that stuck out to me was a 14-year-old girl named Malaya. They said that adults should not disregard our feelings because we go through things as well. They don't get to minimize. This quote stuck to me because most adults think our problems are not important because we are just kids. They think that when we say school is draining, they think that we are being dramatic or that we are lying to get out of school. Adults do not get to shout out our opinions and problems. They are not the only ones who go through rough patches throughout their life. They have to put themselves into our generation's shoes. Talking briefly on students wanting to take time off school, let us now move on into what is specifically causing them to stay home. Factors leading to why and how students are getting stress, anxiety, depression from school, and going more into details. The article Very Well Mind and Parents Release Mental Health Days, written by the Newswire Association, published on August 16, 2022. One factor is a pandemic, and since then, schools had to be shut down, canceled activities, and everyone had to be isolated for those 2 weeks until that changed. The mental health issues in students have increased because social interactions were cut. This evidence shows that the main cause was from the pandemic. Since then, students have had problems in school, even after everything went back to normal, proving why mental health days should be talked more on, and adults understanding that the pandemic did affect the mindset of students being in school. Parents think their kids are too young to have mental health issues and believe they don't need to take time off school because of their age, demonstrating the second cause of this factor. It does not matter on the age. All age groups have mental issues in some ways. It's not the same. Showing all kids can have rough patches, parents should be taking the time to ask why their child wants to take a day off school, listening to their answers. Going forward, we have just now discussed the factors as to why kids or students want these mental health days off and time taken from school. Now let's dive into the solution of this. Solutions can be able to let students have mental health days when they need to stay home and being supportive with their attendance. Statistics from Giving Kids Mental Health Days, written by the organization Clips, published on October 22, 2022, tells readers that 80% of parents have already approved kids being able to stay home, and the other 60% call in saying their kid is sick, indicating that parents are already doing something about this, but they still don't understand what specific things could help their kids. Overall, this article is explaining parents starting to see that their kids are mentally drained and exhausted to even get out of bed and go to school. They are seeing that their kids need to take a day off and just decompress. Going more into details, Navigating School-Based Systems, written by Joshua Fitch, published in August 2024, Wallace, who added the United States Preventive Services Task Force, says, we must be on the lookout for significant changes in mood, anxiety, aggression, relationships, and academic performances, so we can help these students and all children, including teenagers, get the help and support they need. Schools and advisors are stepping in and helping students because they see when their students are not acting themselves or when their grades start to drop. And most of us have grades that drop because we are too emotional and we just want to go home. They stop being productive in class. Initiating schools and parents helping to let students take a day off from school at least once every week. As we come to an ending, let's now bring our attention to remind ourselves of the main substances of the speech. First, we discussed what students are going through in their mental state. Then we went through the factors as to what might be causing them to feel this way. And lastly, ways schools and adults can help by being more involved. Before we leave school today, the one thing I want all of you to do is how can you find ways to help your mental well-being? When you feel mentally exhausted, find solutions that can help you keep being productive and taking care of yourself. Because at the end of the day, you are important. Help your friends when you see they are struggling. Help others because you never know unless you ask. The next time you feel tired or stressed, just know it is okay to ask your counselor or someone you know for advice, and making your parents involved so they can help.